Go for it, Utpala. Go for it, Utpala.
Hi, welcome back to Interlude on Emptiness. Here's our quiz. So what are the three parts? I don't know, well, I didn't know what else to call them. The three parts of something being figurative. Geshla, what is it? What word would I use instead of parts? Three aspects of something being figurative?
You could say, yeah, you could say three aspects or three conditions, or
Okay, let's say conditions. Three conditions of
ask
something.
me to answer questions when I have pizza in my mouth.
Oh, okay. And then after the English, it's very short English, 1 or 3 words. And then if you could give me the Tibetan after we'd go through the English. So does anyone remember what the first condition is?
Yeah, should contradict something that in scripture or that you know to be true.
That's the last one.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of them. That's the third one. So I'm not going to show any of them because that's the last one on my list. Does anyone remember what the first thing is?
Should be.
I think the second one is some compelling reason to be figurative.
LSS has something specific in mind.
Yeah.
There we go.
Should be a true intent.
There's a topic. There is an intent. And if it was taken literally, it would refute the truth. Does anyone know the Tibetan for the first one?
Let's see.
She?
Musi.
The Gongshi.
Gongshi.
And then the second one?
That's the Gupa, no?
Gongpa?
Gupa?
Gongpa.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then the last one, does anyone remember from their notes? Gonglen Nutje. So remember we had this, really quite impenetrable poem by Maitreya from the Jewel of the Sutras. But do you happen to recall what the conclusion of that poem was? It had like, because the quality, because family, because selflessness, because had this long list of because, and then what was the conclusion?
Yes, I mean something something like that. The intent of the 7 is of the 7 paths is that there's one path.
Right, that was Chudi Lama's commentary, right? Sorry, I'm still not learning how to use PowerPoint on Zoom. There's just a single vehicle. So what does Cater just say about how we might take that conclusion? So if we think that means the Jewel of the Sutras is a text of the middle way, and that the conclusion is not liberal but literal, well then we would not be understanding it correctly. Sorry, I'm just going to quit now because it's just not worth your time or mine. Sorry to waste your time, folks. Really, I am.
Hi. Do you have vocabulary, or you did it already?
No, I didn't do it because I thought that, I don't know, I'm just wasting people.
Oh, go ahead.
What's the vocabulary?
Yeah, we want vocabulary. There's a big demand here.
Right. You asked for it. Tucked in. Oh,
Up, steady and firm.
Oh, I know it.
Oh,
ping
Shen,
pong.
Shantong.
yeah, empty of other stuff.
Right. Tong Shi.
Oh, yeah,
The thing are empty of.
the thing that is empty. Yeah. The thing that is
Right,
empty.
not empty of, but
Yeah.
The
the thing that is
have-
empty.
empty.
Yeah.
But
The thing that has empty.
what did
Yeah.
Shantong mean in context? I remembered it earlier today. And then
Oh, we're going to probably get into it a lot more.
okay, cool.
So I'm going to read this to you because it's a little fuzzy. So this is some, some social media gathering. I hate when people in movies and TV are reading ancient languages and they translate everything really smoothly and poetically, as if when people who study ancient languages aren't consulting 3 different commentaries and sobbing profusely when they read. And someone responds, okay, so like it says, come you all into the deepest cavern, or maybe that's fireplace, depends on usage. And having come, may you give your treasures, skin, pants, I don't know, something to the about to be adored guy, that one who, okay, he either causes earthquakes or he sleeps a lot. I think this might be an idiom.
That's nice.
What nerdy chat is this from? Is it like this isn't Twitter?
It's not Twitter, Tumblr or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's not talking about us, right?
Definitely.
No, I
Definitely.
was talking about me.
Oh, that's okay. All right, here we go, kids. Thank you for your homework. Oh, did you have any? I forgot if we had a translation job.
He did give me a translation job, and very much like the fellow in that chat. It was just a string of not complete and utter nonsense. So, I mean, it's not that I'm embarrassed to show it. It's just it's nonsensical and it'd be a complete waste of your time.
Well, here we go. I was kind of embarrassed that I had such a rough time with your class last class. And so I told my wife, I got to get back and study that again, and do a better explanation of it. So I went back and made a lot of notes and did a lot of work on this quotation. So now I'm ready to talk about it. I was right, but kind of by accident. So this is a quotation from Sutra Alankara, the jewel of the sutras, okay? And the first thing I'd like to say is, this is one of the 5 what?
One of the 5 books by Maitreya.
Yeah, one of the 5 books of Maitreya. Now, 3 of those books are supposed to be mind-only school,
Right.
and 2 of those books are supposed to be middle way.
Uh-huh.
And so I think the first job we should have done, Geshe-la should have prepared better. And Geshe-la should have said at the beginning, this is one of the books which is supposed to be
Mind only.
mind only. Yeah. Okay. So first of all,
I think he
this
said that though. Yeah.
is supposed to be the mind only school. Okay. Now, I also checked very thoroughly,
Boy.
found out, did somebody have a statement? What?
Hmm.
You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I also checked very carefully, and what was I going to say? I checked technically, does the mind-only school believe there is ultimately
One path.
one path, or do they believe that ultimately there are
3.
3 paths? And I checked and checked and checked and checked, and everybody says the mind-only school is one of the lower schools that believes that ultimately there are 3 paths.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
It's not true, according to the mind-only school, that all paths go to the same place. Okay,
that's good.
basically there are 3 separate paths, tracks, and that never the 3 shall meet. Okay, and so what have we established so far from Grandpa's further research? Number 1, This has to be a mind-only book, okay? This is a mind-only book. Number two, mind-only school says that ultimately there are three
Three
tracks.
paths, yeah.
Yeah, and that description from the original sutra, what I really meant, where the Buddha says, look, there's just people on a lower track, listeners, and if all the Buddhists in the universe tried to get them to be a bodhisattva or Buddha, they couldn't, okay? That's literal, according to the mind-only school. When you say, look, there's certain people who will never be bodhisattvas, and they're going to go through their spiritual path, and they're going to reach the end and reach nirvana with no remainder, and they will never come up to the bodhisattva path, okay? They reach the end of their development on their own lower path, okay? Who said that? Buddha said that. What? In the third turning of the wheel, which is the favorite one for the
mind-only school.
So mind-only, sorry, I'm trying to sneeze. I think I'm allergic to pizza. I'm sorry. I guess my friends will have to eat all of it. So it's got to be in the mind-only school that any mind-only school book, even from the 5 books of Maitreya, should be saying what?
There are three
There's
vehicles.
3 tracks. But what does this verse say?
There is but a single vehicle.
Yeah, it's all one path. But isn't this one of the mind-only books of Maitreya?
Yes, we must be reading it out of context.
Yeah, therefore, it must be that we have to interpret it because it cannot mean what it says.
Whoa.
It cannot mean what it says, okay? Now, and that also means that our side is correct when we say 2 things will never find a common ground. What is that? Mind only and middle way, okay? That guy wants to say, the opponent wants to say, look, there's a place where the mind only meets the middle way. And if you're him, where would you go to prove it?
This verse?
Hey, there's a verse by Maitreya. Isn't he a Buddha? Look, even he combines middle way with mind only school. In his mind only book, he's talking about how in the end, there's only one path. All paths lead to the same thing. And he gives 7 different reasons why they all lead to the same thing, okay? So therefore, the mind only and the middle way do cross over, even in the future Buddhist book, okay? His famous mind only book, he's talking about, in the end, it's all one path, okay? Now, then Geshe was trying to help you, and he found a quotation that explained the 7 ways in which the lower track and the higher track are equivalent. So I misled you. I took you on is it true that this is what the verse says? Yes. Is it what it means?
No.
Okay, got it?
Sorry.
Isn't that confusing?
So is this commentary then by Chinny Lama, is that how the middle way interprets the meaning of the verse?
Yes, this would be the wrong look of the middle way. Yeah, you could say
not the mind only, not what it means to the mind only school.
Right, because the mind only has to say there's 3 tracks.
Yeah.
And it's not true that all paths lead to the same goal. Okay.
Right.
All right. So we just got confused, and it was a mean verse to give us with so little explanation, he has chosen a verse in a mind-only book that sounds just like middle way. And then, of course, we're confused, okay? All right. So just to check with you, Utpala, is that verse from the Sutra Alankara, is it Changdun or is it Ngedun? Are we supposed to take it literally or are we supposed to interpret it?
If you are of the mind-only school, it
nice.
is literal. If you are of the middle way school, it is figurative.
I think reversed.
No, reverse.
No, no. Oh, that, I'm sorry.
Yeah. If you're mind only, you have to interpret it.
So now we have a problem.
Yes.
We have a big problem because mind only would say the book is literal.
Right.
Oh, the book is literal, but the verse is to be interpreted.
Yeah, but this is the mind-only school presenting the turning of the wheel that's they say is the literal one, and when they do it figuratively, according to them.
Now, listen, I'll give you two choices, Dr. Kramer. Number one, they might just be reporting what the middle way school thinks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And secondly, what was my other choice?
Could be a misquote. Did we check?
They
Well,
might
we didn't check.
be saying that, look, the listeners and the bodhisattvas, it's true they're focusing on the same emptiness, but that doesn't make their paths the same.
Okay.
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 In fact, that's probably what they have to say.
Okay.
All right. Whew.
Maybe.
I feel better about this verse already. Yeah. Okay, good. And then, so 213, section 213 means if you accept this, if you say this verse in the Sutra Alankara is middle way. If you say this verse and also the quotation in the Buddha, in the sutra, if you say this is a middle way section in a mind-only book, okay, and if you say we're supposed to take it literally, okay, and if you say therefore there's only one path in the end, you're nuts, not mixed nuts, just plain nuts. Okay, all right, got it? You okay? Whew. Then he quotes, and I misquoted this, and it took me about an hour to break this quotation down.
Yeah, I noticed you added a whole bunch of stuff.
About 5 pages of notes. Then he quotes the original sutra called "What I Really Meant," and Lodo Yangba is actually one of the members of the audience there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's what do you call it when you're calling out to one of them? What's the grammar case?
Evocative.
Yeah, vocative. It's the vocative. Oh, Lodo Yangba. Okay. Then it says Lembe Namshe, the consciousness which takes, like Tonglen, the consciousness which takes, and he doesn't explain it. Nobody explained it, okay? He says the consciousness which takes, if you rely on that one and you stay in that one, then you get those 6 kinds of awareness, okay? And you have to read the commentaries where they say the consciousness which takes is a code word for kunshi. Okay, the consciousness which takes, okay? And then nobody touches that I could find. Nobody says in all the commentaries to that sutra, nobody says this is what the consciousness that takes is. Only one guy took a shot at it. Guess who he is?
Jason Kappa.
That'd be nice.
Jetson Kappa. Look at all these guys. Okay. And God, I worked through all these guys. Oh my God. Clearest explanation. From entering the middle way, so Kappa, right? Which is Gombaravsa, okay? And I'd like you to read it. Please, let me get you the big cursor here. I mean, Stanley's a big cursor also, but let me see. Person who curses.
Really? I always thought he was
Nah, he's polite.
Very clean
Yeah, he's too
spoken.
polite. We could do better. We can Americanize him a little more.
No. Stanley, don't listen to them.
Okay,
Here, Lempe,
ahead.
Nampa Shepa Sheja Shena, Wangpo Sukchen Tamche Ki Yimpatang, Lu Tamche Nye War Lempe Ni Su Gyurpe Chirte.
Yeah. Why in that weird quotation from Sutra Alankara, okay, do they talk about the consciousness which takes? Lempa. Okay, well, there's two reasons. First of all, it's the cause for all of the 5 sense organs. Okay, physical sense.
Physical sense powers.
Yeah. And secondly, the whole body, it is the place taken by the whole body, or it is the place which takes the whole body. Okay, I read it to mean foundation consciousness is the one where really you are taking all of your physical perceptions are happening there. For example, when you think you see blue, it's happening where?
Kunchi.
Inside the kunchi. So you are taking blues from inside the kunchi. Okay, I read it that way. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else we wanted to cover.
He didn't explain any further.
No,
Okay.
there's the actual quotation from where they mention Lembe number Shepa. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And it's been quoted correctly here. KDJ seems to be pretty careful here. Okay. And here they mention it again. Lembe number Shepa, this kunshi, right, is deep and subtle. Okay. Kunshi number Shepa is the kunshi number Shepa is where all the sovereigns stay. And again, it is the basis for your negativities. Why?
Because the Nyunyi
Yeah,
looks at
good.
the kunchi and is mistaken,
Yeah, and misunderstands it. Okay, good,
misunderstands it as outer objects.
good. And then the quotation from what I really meant is taken as evidence here. And the same point is made in these 2 mind-only texts. The whole point here is that we cannot take the Sutra Alankara statement literally if we are mind-only, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is all stuff that we're supposed to cover. Anybody who says that the core of the Buddha is unchanging and firm, okay? Anyone who talks about kunchi in those words, okay? And anybody who says the third turning of the wheel was literal, okay? We would say they don't know anything, okay? Because they're mind only, okay? They don't understand things, okay? We would say that. Okay? They don't really understand, okay? If you take the third turning of the wheel literally, and if you take these statements about a solid or self-existent essence to Buddhas, you don't know what you're talking about, okay?
That's what that means.
Which one?
Talk 10 is self-existent?
Well, it's often, these words are often added to, for example, anything which is firm and unchanging. Yeah.
Why is he bringing this up now all of a sudden? Like, no one's been talking about Talk 10, Ningpo Talk 10 of Buddhas at all. Like, where did this come from?
It's from the Lembe number Shepa thing. It's from the reference to kunshi. okay? Being somehow the core of the mind, okay? Like that. And we say, no, it's not, okay? Then he just finishes up, and we finished it last time. As we've just taught you, that ancient sutra, what I really meant, and the books that were written by the two brothers for on their own without Maitreya, and the two famous books of the three of the five, which are mind only, okay? It's obvious that they are teaching the equation of the mind only school. You start with changing things. You look at what they don't have, which is existing outside on their own, independent of the mind. And then you come up with emptiness. Take blue, subtract the idea that it exists at a distance, and you reach reality.
Mm-hmm.
Then you reach ultimate reality. Okay, that's the equation. That's called the equation of the mind only school. Okay. All right, here we go. We're back.
Geshe-la, would you equate the word shentong as referring to that equation, to that subtraction?
Okay, that's a great question. Shentong has two vastly different meanings. Okay, shentong has two completely different meanings. In the later mistaken Tibetan schools, it means the emptiness of something is the fact that it's empty of everything else. And that, the people who understand the whole 14 schools of Buddhist thought will say, come on, that's just a logic school idea, that a thing is the opposite of everything it's not. That's not emptiness. That everybody knows that. That's a second school thing. That's not a fourth school thing. Everything is the reverse of everything it's not. Take everything that's not Osiris, flip it around. What do you get? Osiris. That's so. Some Buddhist schools in Tibet said that's emptiness, and it's not. It's just the identity of Osiris. Every school except Abhidharma believes that. That's no big thing. Okay, that's not emptiness. But there were schools in Tibet that thought that was emptiness. Okay, now here, which is Ben's question, why did they mention Shentong here? This is a totally different Shentong. Okay, completely different. This is the Shentong where a functioning thing is empty of being outside there on its own at a distance. And that's what it means to be empty of something else. Okay, and that's a legal emptiness in the mind-only school. Okay. What are things empty of? Well, blue is empty of being on the outside. And that's called Shentong. It's empty of something it's not. Okay, so completely different here, Ben. Okay.
Then there's a third one, right? That there's another school of Buddhism that is high, so-called higher than the Prasangika.
I don't know about
the Shentong point of view.
Oh, I don't know about it. We don't study it that much because it's just, if you know logic at all, it's just silly. So we don't spend much time on it. Yeah. Okay. Please read, and Uncle Nick wants to check you.
Yeah.
当时的食人婆我没得意，神王我婆对这其所起东北神东顺得达基天nyam tu songne te dak nge tentu drupa ni lo du nu pe rangi shemala parnzin pao.
Okay, good.
I felt like embracing my own hangman here first.
Yeah, okay. Dong shi deshek nimbo ngome Teni, Shenwang Lopo Duje Kitsoki Tombe Shentong, Shenaki Tenon Yamdu Sungne. So if you think that the idea expressed here is the Ngeden of what the Buddha really meant, if you think this is what he literally meant, okay, then your loader is Nyomba.
Messed up.
Yeah, crazy. You're crazy. You have your intellect is insane, and it's as though you were embracing your own hangman. Okay, on the what do you call it? On the platform,
Gallows.
in the gallows, you're like hugging your hangman. Okay, which means you're embracing a completely destructive idea. Okay, and so now let's try to figure out the idea. Dongxi, the thing that has the emptiness, right?
Yep.
Dongxi, the thing that has the emptiness. Deshek Nimbo, the essence
of the Buddha.
which you say, let's just try it on for emptiness of the Buddhas, okay? Tathagata Garbha, okay?
Okay.
It is it Ngopo or is it Ngopo Mepa?
Ngopo Mepa.
Yeah, and by the way, Ngome can mean doesn't exist at all, or Ngome can mean what then?
It can mean an existing thing which doesn't function, but also the term is sometimes used to include both.
Yeah, so here, I believe we're talking about it as an existing thing which doesn't function because it's a mere absence, okay?
My
Like
goodness,
any
why would
unchanging
they
thing.
use mei as min?
I'm sorry, what?
Why use mei, which is about existence, for when you mean min?
I
It
didn't,
should be
Why not
either
Ngumayin?
manga or nguma or minga or something. It doesn't function.
oh, I see. I don't know, it's just a baba. It's a translation of a baba.
Has
Okay,
no
well, it's
function.
driving me nuts for I
Okay,
don't know how many hours.
okay.
Does not possess function.
Yeah, okay. Nopo, yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's just an idiom, okay? All right. Shenwang, Nopo. Now, a question for you guys. Is Shenwang Takpa or Mitakpa?
Shenwang is
Mitakpa. Mitakpa.
It's anything that comes from it's anything which is under the control of another thing which happens to be its cause.
Mhm.
At the mercy of. Shenwang can translate as at the mercy of. All changing things are Shenwang.
Mm-hmm.
All produced things are Shenwang because they are under the power, they're at the mercy of their cause. If the cause shows up, we got a concert. If the cause don't show up, there ain't no music. Okay. So we are dependent on the musician showing up, okay? Shenwang, we are Shenwang. Okay, Nopo, Duche Kitsoki, okay? Tombe Shentong. Now, normally, what do we say is empty in the mind-only school?
We say that
Outer
the
objects.
Three things in three ways.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, objects of perception are empty of being outside, okay? But actually, we usually start with Shenwangs. Functioning things are empty of coming from their own, of existing as outside state, okay? And then that's emptiness, okay? That's how you reach emptiness. That's the formula for reaching emptiness. He wants to change it. This guy wants to change it. I think the thing that's empty, the emptiness of the Buddha, okay? That normally in the mind-only school, what's the thing that's empty?
Outside object.
Outside objects, and they are empty of being real, okay? Any functioning thing
Oh no, not
in the mind-only school is the Dongxi. He wants to switch it. He says, let's talk about the emptiness of emptiness. Okay, I think what they're talking about is the emptiness of emptiness. I think they want to say emptiness is devoid of something.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, well, where are you going with this? Well, what's empty is emptiness. Okay. What's it empty of? Changing things.
Yeah, and imaginary things.
It's
And
empty.
toast, yeah, lots of things.
It's empty of changing things. And that's Shinto.
Oh, I think that's right.
Okay.
That seems okay.
Start with emptiness and the fact that it's empty of changing things. If you can understand that, you will reach enlightenment.
Mm. Oh.
That's what he says. He says
Who's
that's
he?
a new opponent.
Oh,
Okay, and he again, you gotta understand the mind-only school in terms of an equation. Changing things minus imaginary things equals emptiness. Okay, okay, got it. But he wants to change the equation. Emptiness minus changing things is the fact that things aren't themselves, and that's the equation. Okay, and we say nyomba. Okay, that's crazy. And by the way, look at my note here. Tsongkhapa students are often responding to somebody in their historical period. Somebody wrote an article on Wikipedia, and they're trying to defend something, and they get really hot about it. And then Wikipedia died, the person died, everyone else died, 20 generations died, and now they're arguing about it, and we don't even know who it was, when it was, where he was, and that's the situation here. If you have graduate students in the future, Ben Kramer, you can have them check through all the other literature, 10,000 books, and find out who it was. Rong Tumba is a good candidate.
Wrong Toma. Mm-hmm.
He was one of the logic authors in your last paragraph.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sakya master.
Yeah. Listen, you ready? Here's the mantra. Take ba chembe shungla ngawa shiptu ma chepe kinyin. Take ba chembe shungla ngawa shiptu ma chepe kinyin. Rongtun, I think, wrote 9 volumes on the perfection of wisdom, Tim. And then he was a Katerjee, I think, or Geltabjee says, you know what's your problem? And they said, what? And he said, you haven't studied enough. That's your problem. You haven't put out enough effort to study the great books. I just wrote 1,000 pages of commentary. I know. That's what I'm saying. So he's a common enemy of these two guys. Okay, you might check him and see if he thought that the Shentong. You got to go see whose idea it was. Okay, it's a weird Shentong. It's even weird to translate. Okay. All right, let's go, Unpala. And Word wanted to check you. I don't know why.
as you ask him, that's why.
I think he's going to give you $100 for every correct pronounced word.
No.
Yeah.
Cheerdo. Gangdrel Jetang Dang Jepane Shenwang Dintampar Dupe Ngupo Dang Yang Dakpar Yepe Ngupo Lenchik Mayim by Shake Ching De Drupe Rikpadang Shenwang Den Medutene Tena Kundap Ki Tawar Lenchik Mayim by Shipala.
Okay, good. We should read across the do. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. In fact, I should make a note here. Okay. Do.
It's just a page number.
Yeah. Those people who follow the do de gong do. Okay. Those people who follow the sutra called What I Really Meant. Okay. Who is that?
Mind only.
Yeah, the mind only school. What do they think that? Okay, what's a Shenwang, Utpala? What's Shenwang?
Shen Wang is a thing that's under the influence of other factors.
Any changing thing,
Any changing thing, yeah.
any functioning thing. Now, according to the mind only school, are those ultimate reality or are they deceptive?
Ultimate.
They truly exist, if that's what you mean.
They're for real. They're for real.
Yeah.
Look, you light a fire, it causes heat. That's for real.
Mhm.
That's real. You know, well, that's Dundadeba. That's ultimate reality. There's nothing deceptive about that. Okay. So if you follow the third turning of the wheel, okay, and if you believe that changing things are ultimate reality, or things that do things are ultimate. I mean, a fire burns you, it must be there. It's real, okay? Things that do things are really real, okay? If somebody says things that do something are the really real things, and if somebody says, I like the third turning of the wheel, okay? If you don't accept these thoughts, and if you think Shenwangs are denme,
Not real.
think things
real.
that do something are deceptive,
Mhm.
not real. Okay, if you follow the third turning of the wheel, if you say that what's ultimately real is fire because it makes heat, okay? If something does something, it's real, okay? And if you accept that kind of logic, okay? Or if you're one of those people who says fires are denme,
Not real.
if you say fires are not real, okay? If you say the heat in the fire came from
Seeds.
Like, I don't know, seeds or something?
it didn't
A
come from,
mental image?
okay? Who put the heat in the fire? Who put the coal in the coconut? You put the heat in the fire, okay? According to who? Middle way. According to,
Consequence, yeah.
got it?
Mhm.
If you're one of those guys who says that fires are unreal, they are not what they seem. They look like they're coming from wood and matches and gasoline, but they're not. They're coming from you, okay? If you're one of the people in the world who says fires are not real, okay?
Mhm.
What would a mind-only school guy say about you?
You're underestimated.
Nuts.
Kundap, yeah.
Corn dip.
All this stuff that's real, you think none of it's real. You
Mhm.
are underrating reality. A kundap, okay? All right. Now, would they say it once?
Oh.
No, they would accuse you every morning when you wake up. They call you on the phone. Are you up yet? Yeah. God damn. You're the people who say fires aren't real, right? Yeah, we are. Why are you putting down Lord Buddha? I'm not putting down Lord Buddha. Yeah, you are. You're putting down the third turning of the wheel. Oh, he was just talking. No, he wasn't. It's real. Okay, got it? Okay, so Lenchik Mayimba means, look, if you're real mind-only school, you wouldn't criticize those fires are not real guys once. You would criticize them every morning. You would set their alarm on their phone, ding, 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 give them a call. Do you still believe fires aren't real? Yes. God, you're nuts. You know, you're criticizing who? Lord Buddha. I mean, in this third turning of the wheel, he said, Shen Wangs are dendru. Things that do things are real. That's what makes them real. Hey, who are you? We're mind only. Sorry, we're middle way. Well, what turning of the wheel do you guys like? Second turning of the wheel. Yeah. So do you say changing things are real or not? No, we say they're unreal. That you guys are nuts. Don't call us nuts. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Now, given this section number 219, what would be an asshole thing to say?
Oh, that they're the same path.
Oh yeah, they think there's a meeting point, you know. So maybe sometimes the fire is real and sometimes it's not real, you know. Like maybe we can get together, middle way and mine only, you know. Okay, got it. That's the whole point. Katie J wants to say, God, give it up, man. They don't agree, and they never will, because the mind only says changing things. Functioning things that do something are real. And the middle way school says when they do something, it proves they are not real.
Right.
That'd be lower middle way. Oh, let me check the time, Hassel.
Yeah, well, Geshe-la, it's 7:30 now, and I'm trying to split the difference because we went a little over in the other one.
All right. We call that in English idiom, we say saved by the bell. The student asks a difficult question and the school bell ring. And the teacher say, oh, I'm sorry, we have to do that tomorrow. Okay, Nick, 5 minutes?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Geshe-la.
Thank you, guys. It's tough.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you.
It's going to get easier.
It is?
Should
Yes.
I just try to do the next one or just?
Yes. Let me see. Yep. And actually, you can do it with my notes.
Right. Then don't assume you're destined for ruin just because you're.
Yeah.
And my quiz, I mean,
Not a
the
secret
quiz we did
message.
today is what we just did today. So
Oh,
we just repeated.
come on. If you can't
So
make
that means that when I give the quiz on Tuesday morning, everyone will get all the answers right.
Java Mahjong.
I got
That's a long time from now.
We're gonna take a break by then. We're gonna eat and sleep it all out of our brain.
okay, see you guys in 10 minutes. Thanks.
All right. Have a good break.